Hello, my lovely toads, and welcome back to the ranking every Mario Kart track series. The series where my mental health goes down the toilet as I realize that I don't really have as strong opinions as I think I should, and then I end up constantly debating on myself on whether the certain tracks deserve to go where they go. That was not a very fun intro, was it? Well, whatever. We have the DLC to go through. I'm actually in. Maybe it's just the fact that after a certain point that it came out in a point in my life where I became more cynical, but I'm not. I will admit that there are a few tracks on this DLC that I can already tell are going to make a few enemies. I think it's better we just get started because literally the first track I think I'm going to get some arguments about my opinions of. GCN Yoshi Circuit, one of the more popular tracks from Double Dash. Aw, yeah. I think it is pretty cool how it looks. I'm kind of confused why there's so many, or why there's a toad in Yoshi Circuit, the one singular toad. But whatever. Oh no, never mind, there's a few more. But yeah, that's just kind of nitpicking. I mean, I do like that mushroom shortcut. It is a really satisfying one to take. Okay, that was just plain bad. So far, not really much has happened. I guess we went through a tunnel, which is pretty cool. Look, but I don't like this section right here. On the higher CCs, you pretty much have to know that you can jump behind the piranha plants, because otherwise this will happen. Oh. Yeah, that person just got insanely lucky. Whenever I try to take that section, I just get chomped by all the piranha plants. That's the main reason why I'm not really as big of a fan of this track as everyone else. Apart from that, though, I mean, it is really impressive that the layout of Yoshi works this well for a Mario Kart track, I will say. I'm honestly not really sure why this one is as popular as it is, though. I do get that it does have some kind of interesting things, but I think the lower end of B tier is a good spot for it. I think it is solid, but I mean, it's nowhere near the strongest one of these circuit tracks for me. I'd still much rather play Royal Raceway, personally speaking. How about the music, though? Is the music any good? I gotta be honest, there's something about this jazzy remix that just really doesn't do it for me. Like, I like that they kept in the whistles, but I don't like how they put some jazz instruments over it, because it kind of makes the one thing that I think made the song as good as it was originally kind of disappear. I also just like whatever that instrument is a lot less than the instrument of the original. Yeah. It's okay, I guess. I mean, I think I'm putting it under Sherbet Land. It just doesn't get much of a reaction out of me. Also, wow, Double Dash hasn't really been doing very well when it comes. Well, I guess I had Dry Desert, so never mind. So, yeah. That was that one. That was okay. I could definitely see why it has a fan base. It's just not really my cup of tea. Meanwhile, we have the other side, Excite Bike Arena. For some reason, this one seems to have a hate-dom that's risen over the years, which I guess I can understand why. It is a track that is basically a lot of the same thing over and over again. Yes, I know there's an ad. But, I don't know, I think that it works out pretty well in this particular case.
Want to upgrade but still paying off your locked phone? Break free from 3-year device contracts.
So, second race. Oh, yeah. Right. I think that this track just... I don't know, there's just something really fun about just going up and... or going forward and tricking off a bunch of ramps. Even if the track is fairly simple, it's just simple fun, you know? I'm actually gonna cut it sound like a hypocrite saying that I really like this track considering how harsh I was on Yoshi Circuit. But I don't know, I just like this one more. Also, that layout is actually randomized every time you play, just an interesting fun fact. So yeah. The question is it going A tier or B tier? Unfortunately, I gotta say this. I think this is another B tier one. Probably about here-ish will be good. It's a fun one, but there's definitely stronger offerings in the game, or at least ones with more substance. What about the music, though? I guess this is a pretty perfect track for the song for this track. It's not the most complex thing in the world, but it's enjoyable. So, yeah. Excite Bike Arena actually performed decently well considering the fact that some people don't really like it that much. Now let's move on to, no, not Bowser's Castle, Dragon Driftway. This one also seems to have a bit of a hate-dom, but unlike Excite Bike Arena, I think I actually do agree with them to an extent. I think my young self only really liked it because I really like Asian stuff. But when you actually look at it, I mean, first of all, do not look too hard at the mini-map, but anyway. So yeah, there's some lines and I guess there's a few interesting grass shortcuts. Then, you know, just take that turn as weirdly as possible. And then there's a few kind of interesting jumps. And that's it. It is definitely one of the more uneventful tracks of the game. I think right there is a good spot for it. At the very least, on like Rainbow Road, it didn't feel like it was trying to be something it wasn't. But I don't know. I still don't really feel all that strongly for it one way or another. It's fine. And speaking of fine, the music. I don't know. If you want a good song with that instrument, just listen to the transition theme of, I think it was Young Crook and Master Mantis and WarioWare Smooth Moves. Anyway, so I gotta say, this cup's not faring as well as I thought it would. Hopefully it at least ends on it. Oh, well, I guess there's no question on whether it ends on a good note at least. Even a unique startup jingle. Okay, I really need to stop nitpicking the footage. Anyway, yeah, I like the placement of those boost panels. They encourage you to not drift. In general, it is actually kind of cool when the Mario Kart series is more about trying to make the turns normally than trying to drift. What even hit them? Or whatever. I mean, layout-wise, it's nothing amazing. But you can just feel that sense of speed with this one. I actually think it's the texturing on the road that really does it. You see those textures move and it gives the illusion they are moving a lot quicker than you actually are. And because of that, and just being a good tribute to the series, I'd say A tier is a good spot for this one. I think under Grimble Volcano, but over Dolphin Shoals. But you know the main reason why this track is good. Yeah, it may sound like it's looped, but it hasn't yet. I mean, you know where this is going, right? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, what we got next? What we got next, man? I guess Crossing Cup, so GCN.
You ready for another round, shooter?
Well, I guess now would. Yeah, okay, this doesn't do that in this order. I'm clicking every wrong tab.
Go from Greek classics one day.
No one cares. Why did I click on Yoshi Circuit? So, Triforce Cup, Wii Warriors Gold Mine. I am actually really stoked to talk about this one. Well, as a kid, I really liked this one on the Wii, and I think the 8 Deluxe version lives up to the hype really well. It's nice to see them choose one of the like, the tracks that they chose from Wii were pretty good, but, I mean, let's be honest, Wii has an absolutely killer Nitro track selection, and there were definitely better choices. So, yeah. So, there's where there's a little safety spot if you fall off, which is pretty cool. Then there's the section with the mine carts. Some complain that the mine carts aren't nearly as gripping. As you see, they have the little anti-gravity wheels on the bottom, which basically means that they can't hurt you anymore. I understand the criticism. Oh wow, I've never actually seen anyone take this side before. But yeah, I understand the criticism, but I personally just think that that it causes the track to be good. Or that, you know, it's the first track of the cup this time, so like it kind of makes sense that they would try to nerf the difficulty a bit. No, I quite like this one. It's just really enjoyable. Yeah, I think about here is a good spot for it. Actually, here. I'm gonna think of it. Why did I place Shy Guy Falls so high? And whatever. Wario's Gold Mine is a good track. It's doesn't really do one thing particularly amazingly, but it's just a really solid all-around track. And speaking of doesn't do anything particularly amazing, but it's just a solid all-around track, let's listen to the music. I mean, not much to say. It's just a nice foot tapper. Yeah, I think here is a good spot for the song. Yeah, let's go with that. So, that was a pretty good start. It's nice to see them still experimenting and stuff. But then for everything that I praised about the difficulty of the previous one, just throw it out the window because for some reason they made the final retro track in Mario Kart 7 literally track number 2. I don't get this decision. I don't like this decision. The track does look pretty nice at the very least. But this is another hot take that I have. I don't like SNES Rainbow Road. So here, I think, is a pretty good introduction to the Thwomp waving gimmick. In general, it is a really solidly designed track, I'll give it that. But I don't like sections like this. Look, there's barely any space to go around him, and if that guy would have tricked off of the waves that the Thwomp made, he would have ran right into it. Which just makes me wonder, why did the Thwomps make the track wave if tricking off of those waves is just going to make you hit them? Doesn't that sound kind of counterintuitive? To be fair, I am also bad though, so I don't know, is it just a skill issue? I'm not really sure. What I do know is that this is by far the best version of this track, but I still don't really like it that much. I think maybe... Wow, all of the Rainbow Roads are getting ranked right next to each other. But yeah, I think here is a pretty good spot for it. I think I prefer Mario Kart 8's main one just a tad bit more. How about the music, though? You know, that is actually pretty good. Oh, it looped. I was too busy jamming out. You know what? Yeah, this is an A-tier song. I've definitely not given this song the credit it deserves. Where an A-tier, though? Probably over... I think maybe here. That looks like a good spot for it. Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's stuff like this that makes me kind of anxious to do this series, because, like, I can't even tell if my opinions are valid or if I'm just insanely unskilled. Ice Ice Outpost is another track that kind of falls under that. Though, unlike with SNES Rainbow Road, this track is a pretty infamous one. Everyone complains about how this track is just nothing and could have been removed from the game. I feel like there's a bit more animosity towards this track than there is for a track like Dragon Driftway, which is kind of surprising to me considering, you know, this at least has the two intertwining paths unlike Dragon Driftway. But, yeah, Mario Kart 8 has already done this two branching paths gimmick a lot, so this just doesn't feel special anymore. There's also a lot of off-road shortcuts, as you can see, but I don't know, I think that's what made time trialing this track absolutely frustrating to me. Anyway. Yeah, that's just my thoughts, though. And it's already looped. It's actually surprisingly short. I mean, it's a pretty infamous one. I don't think it's bad, and I think it's a little overhated. I think maybe, like, yeah, right over Dragon Driftway is a good spot for it. At least there's stuff going on. I think I'm actually going to move Dragon Driftway down. But yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of funny having all three of this game's Rainbow Roads right next to each other, so I'm going to keep it like that. So yeah, so yeah, Ice Ice Outpost. What about the music, though? Don't you just feel like you're going on an adventure with this song? Like, I don't know why they went so hard on a song for such a nothing track. Definitely an A tier one. Where an A tier? Probably under Dolphin Trolls, probably under Piranha Plant Slide, probably under Toad's Turnpike, probably under Music Park, probably under Dry Desert, under Shy Guy Falls, but over Grumble Volcano? Nah, I think here is a better spot for it. Actually, nah, I think up here is a good spot. I don't know why. Like, I know that this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I just love the music for Ice Ice Outpost. It just gets you pumped up. It's a bummer that such a great song had to be wasted on such a nothing track. I could guarantee that the song would be way more popular if it was on any other track. Now time.
This is pickleball.
No one cares about you. No one cares about babies playing tennis. So yeah, Hyrule Circuit. I remember that there was a time where I didn't really like this track that much. And I think that the main reason is just the fact that I do feel like a Zelda themed track could have been taken a little bit further than it was. And honestly, I do still kind of believe that, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as my young self thought it was. I mean, they replaced the rupees with coins, which is a really nice little detail. And yeah, they also changed the item roulette sound, as you heard. I do really like this section right here with the puzzle. It's actually kind of tough to take that turn perfectly. So yeah. But I think you can kind of see my problem with it. I mean, it is cool that you go through the castle and the woods and such, but like, let's be honest. If you've never played a Zelda game before, would any of that really sell you on the series? Like, one kind of neat puzzle and that's pretty much it. I feel like this is more so a love letter for people who are already fans of Zelda than it is a track to try to get you into the series, because I gotta admit, as someone who hasn't really played a lot of Zelda, this doesn't really sell me that much. So, yeah. That said, I don't think it's a bad track. I think it's definitely worthy of B tier. I think maybe here is a good spot for it. It's a decent one, just not really anything that I think I'd go out of my way to play when I feel like there's better options, which I feel is kind of sad for a Zelda-themed track. But what about the music? Okay, as many complaints as I have with the track not really being anything particularly special to me, at the very least the song is actually jamming. I think it's awesome that they worked in Zelda's Lullaby into this piece because, you know, the typical Zelda overworld theme has been kind of remixed to death in the Zelda series at this point. Doesn't that just get you hyped to play it? To go into a Zelda world? Another really surprisingly good song for a mediocre track. And because of that, I think I'm going to put it slightly over Ice Ice Outpost. Yeah, this is turning out really good, actually. At least it definitely seems like it picked up after a somewhat lackluster initial offering. So maybe I was too harsh on the DLC. Next up is Baby Park. No, I clicked. Okay. No, yeah, okay. The timestamp is wrong. I think it was supposed to say 51:21, and they just accidentally typed the wrong number. Yeah, look, guys, it's Mute City. Good old Mute City, guys. So anyway, I've actually heard some people say that this version isn't as chaotic as the GameCube version. I don't really know what they're talking about, personally. First of all, the fact that it's an anti-gravity encourages collision with other players more than ever before. Second, I mean, as you'll quickly see, there is a lot of chaos still. I feel like the people who would criticize this track mainly criticize it because the Double Dash version... Okay, why is there like nothing going on? Usually when I play this game, there's way more going on than this. Maybe that's why people complain that not much happens, because in 200cc it's different. I mean, there are a lot of people chasing it with stars in this footage, at least. Honestly, looking at this footage, I think my opinions may have changed a little bit. I do still think it is a really good track, though. I feel like a lot of the criticisms lobbied against this one are a little unwarranted. Especially since I think people also like to pretend like the GameCube version is more chaotic than it actually was. Yes, when someone throws a Bowser shell, it is absolute chaos. But how often does that actually happen? So yeah, that's Baby Park. I think that's a solid choice. I think that this one isn't quite as exciting for me as it is for others, I will admit. But I do still like it. I think the upper end of B tier is a good spot for it. Actually, maybe the lower end... Yeah, you know what? B tier is getting a little crowded. I think maybe bottom of A is a good spot for it. And what about the music? So as you'll hear, the music actually speeds up with every lap, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I think we've heard enough. It's just a really catchy tune. Actually, I think I just dragged it to the perfect spot. It's just a nice little foot tapper. Not much else to say. Man, I do not have as much to say with these tracks as I thought I did. This is probably going to be a really short... I just keep glancing at the time and realizing, oh, okay, never mind, we have some stuff to talk about. GBA Cheeseland, where for some reason they decided to completely ditch the cheese and space aesthetic and just go completely desert and just make desert things that are sculpted out of cheese. Ooh, a chain chomp. I'm also just now realizing how many tracks have a bunch of people greeting you at the line. It's kind of neat at the start line. Yeah. So that's the first of many shortcuts in this level, mushroom shortcuts. Then, I think my beef with this track is that it's so bumpy and wavy that I just can never seem to stay on it, no matter how hard I try. It's another case where skill issues really end up impacting my enjoyment. Look at how much this person has to brake. And then there's like this stretch where there's a mushroom shortcut that leads you to a glider that can lead you right to another mushroom shortcut. If you're preserving your mushrooms right, you could pretty much win the track like that. I've never really been a huge fan of this remake personally. I still don't think it's D tier, but I don't really have that much fun playing on it. Well, it's at least not as visually bland as Bone Dry Dune, so I guess putting it over that one just makes sense. But yeah, actually, here. What about the music, though? What about the music, though? So first of all, why does it getting sound lower quality than it did on the GBA? I'm sorry, I don't like this remix that much. I mean, it sounds like Cheeseland if you have indigested, I'll just say that. See, that part annoys me because I do like the idea of a trombone being there, and then the trumpet's just like, no, I need more screen time. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. Huh. So, yeah, this is definitely one of the track themes of all time. Oh, I'm on the tracks, not the music. Silly me. Nah, not really a huge fan, honestly. Not D tier worthy, but I think, like, if I put it here, it kind of speaks for itself. Sorry, Cheeseland fans, but I'm not one of you. At least in this game. So, yeah. That's that. Glad we got that over, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of criticism for my opinions. I also got Wild Woods. This is a track that I and many others didn't really care for that much when it first came out, but looking at it again, it's actually kind of neat. First of all, I really like this variation on the characters greeting you at the beginning. How you see up their faces, hinting that you're on anti-gravity. That's kind of cool.
Fritos.
And then there's
feeding
Fritos.
cowboy spirit since
And like
1932.
horses and stuff. I mean, who doesn't love Fritos and horses? Anyway. I like that split path in particular because the path on the right, as you can see, is way riskier. And there's this village with a lot of really cool decor. I mean, you're probably not going to notice it while racing, but it's still pretty neat. Okay, this is embarrassing to watch. Yeah, then there's this, like, Koopa Cape style stream of water, which, I mean, it's fun. I mean, going down these water streams is always a blast. Then you get to jump on some lily pads, which kind of reminds me of DS Wario Stadium. Then there's that pretty hard-to-hit grass shortcut. I guess that's the reason why this track never really clicked with people. It does a decent amount of stuff, but it doesn't really do anything particularly new. But I don't think that it has to do anything new to be a good track, and you know what? I'd say it's pretty good. Yeah, that seems like a good spot for it. Yeah. But I think I know the main reason why I really like this track. So one thing I forgot to comment is that it's actually only one of 2 songs in the entire Mario Kart franchise to be in a non-4/4 time signature. And I'd say it really paid off. It really helps this one feel really mystical. And as you can tell by how high I placed it, I just really love this one. It feels like an absolute adventure and is just a really solid bop. So yeah, Wild Woods is actually a surprisingly good track. We probably never would have thought that a few years ago. Now what about Animal Crossing? Looks like they got the autumn variation, which, that's one thing I should mention. There's actually 4 seasonal variations of the track, which is pretty cool. I don't think any of them actually change the way you race on the track, but it is still a cool gimmick nonetheless. Also, it's nice seeing some Animal Crossing characters rigged in Mario Kart. They actually fit the style of this game really well. That is actually one nitpick I will say with these crossovers, though. I feel like because all of the crossovers try to blend themselves into Mario Kart style instead of Mario Kart trying to blend its style to fit the game franchises, they kind of just look like another Mario Kart track to me. I feel like it works a bit better with Animal Crossing, though, since, you know, there's the trees, the animals, all of that stuff that really makes you point and say, yeah, that's Animal Crossing. Whereas in Zelda, I felt like it felt a little bit more forced. Oh my god, this shot looks stunning on Autumn. Then you go on the beach, which is pretty cool. They even have one of those flowing rivers pushing you to the side, which is a kind of neat idea that I am a little bummed that it only ends up being that very little part. Oh yeah, those rocks also contain bells. If you run into them, that's really cool. I think similar to the Zelda track, it doesn't really do that much special when it comes to actual track design. But unlike Hyrule Circuit, I actually do think that it does a good job representing its game franchise, or making its game franchise look really fun. And so because of that, I think I'm gonna put it here. Just a really good one. Wow, my cynicism towards this is really showing. What about the music, though? Well, as you can see right here, the music actually has 4 different variations. One for spring, one for summer, one for autumn, and one for winter. So let's go through them, shall we? I kind of wish there was like a medley of all of these. This one's a bit more lively than the spring one. Oh, this part sounds nice. Oh, this is like a different song? Oh, no. Oh, if that doesn't make you feel relaxed, I don't know what will. Okay, this just sounds like a different song. But I said that last time too, so. It is really impressive that they were able to create 4 different variations of the same song and make them all sound really good in different ways, so. Yeah, I'd say that alone deserves putting it like up there-ish. Just really enjoyable. Just a nice, pleasant tune to listen to if you just want to get those nice, warm fuzzies of Animal Crossing. It's kind of surprising that Animal Crossing and Mario Kart meshed as well as they did. So, that was a really good cup, wasn't it? Now let's go to the finale. Bell Cup. We begin with... Oh, this is probably one of the most interesting tracks in the series to talk about. Neo Bowser City. This is a track that I've heard opinions ranging from one of the best in the Mario Kart franchise to absolutely terrible, never play this. It's kind of surprising how bipolar the reputation of this track is. General audiences seem to like it, but critics seem to hate it. As for me, I'm personally on the like it side. I mean, just look at how this track looks. It already looked pretty dang good on the 3DS, but they added so many visual details to just sell this Rain Neo town.
Nickelodeon was kid everything, but that marked one of the darkest.
No one cares. Then, you know, you go on these turns. I think that's the main reason why it has so many critics, though. I mean, when you really look at it, not much happens. It's kind of similar to Electrodrome in that it's kind of a vibes track. Though, I will admit, I'm not really a huge fan of the addition at this turn. I feel like it is way too sharp for a track that's just trying to be aesthetics over actual gameplay. But yeah, also this section was actually made worse from the 3DS version. The 3DS version had a few puddles, but this one instead has dash ramps, which like, that just makes it way easier. Yeah. I actually think that for a first track of the cup, this one's a little bit difficult. But I do still like it a decent amount. I've always thought that Neo Bowser City is a rather B-tier track. It's similar to Electrodrome where it's really where it's kind of a vibes track, but I don't think it pulls it off quite as well as Electrodrome does. So, I guess here would be a good spot for it. Yeah. But what about that music? Wait, this sounds familiar. Let's listen back to N64 Toad Turnpike. Yeah, hold on. So yeah, it kind of borrows from that, but also throws in the 7 jingle. I think I may have skipped this section. Oh man. That section of Mario Kart Wii's really generic sounding circuit theme sounds so good in this game. This section. Not sure exactly what it's from. The song is basically like a medley of a bunch of other songs, but you know, it sounds great. It really encaptures the vibe they were going for. And I think because of that, I don't know, when I think back at that particular melody, I think Neo Bowser City is what I think of more than Toad's Turnpike. I think Toad's Turnpike is a really good song, but I feel like Neo Bowser City keeps the momentum a bit more throughout the entire thing. That's just my take, though. I know that people are probably going to disagree on this one especially, since people can't really seem to agree on how good this track is. But people can agree. Ribbon Road is one of the best tracks in the Mario Kart series now. On the GBA, it was just kind of okay. But, I mean, just look at this version. So much is going on. This giant bedroom and all of these toys. Oh yeah, they even have a variation of the people greeting you, but instead it's just mini toads staring into your soul. But yeah, go on the road. And then bam. This is another wavy track, but I think unlike Cheeseland, because of the fact that it seems to be more compact with where it turns, it's a lot easier for me to stay on it. You know, unless I'm going for those shortcuts, but like, I'm fine with the shortcuts being difficult since, you know, you don't have to take them if you don't want to. I mean, they really spruced this one up. There were so many visual details I could have paused and pointed out. That glider section was also a nice addition. I mean, the layout's barely even the same as the original, but, I mean, this is definitely going up in... Is it A or S? You know what? This is going an S above TikTok Clock. I actually think I may have ranked TikTok Clock a little too high, but oh well. Yeah, that is a really good remake. You know what? Yeah, Bowser's Castle deserves to be up here. Oh yeah, this is a spreadsheet that I'm using to keep track of everything. I have certain other videos planned based on this one. Oh, I moved the wrong one. So yeah, if you're ever wondering what this tab was, that's what it is. Anyway, yeah, this is just a really good remake. What about the music, though? Surely the music can't be as good as the actual track. Surf's up, man. Let's hit it. Dang, that's good. They took one of the most mediocre songs from the original and just spruced it up so much. I still don't think it's S tier worthy, but it's definitely a high A. How could you not love that part? Okay, one more to go. Honestly, the stream's been turning out way shorter than I would have liked, and I think that's kind of concerning me. But at the very least, that means the future streams won't be too hard. So, Big Blue. I mean, I think this is a really great note to end the tracks on, personally. As you can see, they got the same textured road as the previous F-Zero track, Mute City, which once again is a really great touch to make you feel like you're going really fast. And then you can of course drift on those sections to get coins. I personally always take the upper route there so that I can get my coins filled. And I also personally like to stay on the green things. God, whoever the YouTuber is probably just really upset with me. Either that or they didn't know who I am as much as I know who they are. And another split path section, which is pretty cool. This person is playing risky, huh? Aww. All of the places an ad could have shown up. It was basically like a to be continued. Oh wow. Okay, that's not very great design, but anyway. Oh yeah, there's even that announcer that tells you that it's the final lap. I love this one so much. There's a lot of branching path sections, but I think because it's not the entire thing, it feels a bit more impressive. Not to mention, again, just that sense of speed throughout the entire thing. And because it's a section track, you also get that sense of adventure. Really good track. Definitely I mean, if you were to ask me which one's better, Mute City or Big Blue, I'd definitely tell you Big Blue. It's just a really, it just feels like a journey. What about the music, though? Is the music better than Mute City? I skipped one? Okay, yeah, I accidentally skipped a track. I guess we'll just listen to the music and then end on Super Bell Subway. Oh my god, this track's 5 minutes long? I think being a little too long puts it a bit under Mute City, but they're both really close. They are both absolute jams. So, yeah. Sorry I didn't listen to the whole song, but I want to do Super Bell Subway before I forget. So, yeah. Super Bell Subway, I guess we're ending on this track, but I think I could think of worse tracks to end on. This is kind of in a similar vein as Sunshine Airport, where it's basically like the form of transportation is turned into a track. But, you know, it's pretty cool. There we go. I like these little side sections that let you avoid the subways if you don't want to go on them. I don't like when you get hit by a shelf in the front. Yeah. I guess there's not really much to comment on with this one. There's a grass shortcut there, I guess. Actually, that turn's a little sharp, but it is the final one of the track, so I guess it makes sense. Just a really good track. Just a solid feel-good track. I think right here is a good spot for it, wouldn't you say? Yeah, it's not anything I think I'd go out of my way to replay, but I do enjoy playing it. Actually, a part of me is telling me that that this is way too low, so I'm gonna put it up here instead. That is a lot of DLC tracks right next to each other, though, so maybe it should go down here. I don't know. Did I rank Wild Woods too fairly? I don't know. I do like the addition of the subways in Supercell Subway, though, so yeah. There, I'll put it there. You happy, me? Yeah, Supercell Subway is just a really solid track. I think I've been saying that about... I need to think of another word other than solid. What about the music, though? Is that good? It really fits with the feel-good vibe of this track, doesn't it? There's another one on the lengthy side, and if I haven't made it clear, I do think that lengthier songs, or that songs can be too long, but wow, yet another one in A tier, who would have thunk it? A tier really got packed starting with this one, didn't it? Yeah, I think here is a good spot for it. Just a nice, soothing song. So, yeah. So, I guess that's all of the tracks. Now it's the part where I have to put them all into this. As I stated in the previous video, I have this little section down here, though I guess I won't need it after this. Because, you know, the Booster Course Pass tracks are all down here. So, let's listen to some music and put the things in the things. Wow, A minus is getting packed. Wow, C tier is gonna like double in size. How the heck did Hyrule Circuit get ranked so... Oh. Wait, what? Didn't I already rank Hyrule Circuit? Oh, I guess I forgot. Like, even the image of these just doesn't stand out to me at all. dog moving metal. Does help. Wow, okay, so long strike range on your thing. Okay. I did it. And with that, I guess I'll see you guys around. Have the best day.